Hold on to your seats, reality TV watchers, for the ultimate facade of hip-hop royalty has just collapsed in front of our eyes. Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris sustained the love and hip-hop brand and served as the model for an indestructible pair for nearly 2 decades. They had to deal with rumors of infidelity, mixed family conflict, and a protracted federal jail sentence. We even saw them cry and exchange vows in a lavish, multi-million-dollar televised wedding spectacular that touched everyone on the planet. But what if I told you that the truth is now at last free and that the entire myth was founded on an extensive web of deceit? In a shocking and amazing turn of events, Mendeecees Harris just disclosed their entire relationship during a live radio broadcast. He dropped an unanticipated nuclear bomb in addition to disclosing through that he and Yandy had been secretly apart for over a year. They were never legally wedded. You heard right. That stunning TV wedding? For enjoyment only. The document was never signed. No court documents were ever filed. Yandy Smith is officially cutting her connections to Mendeecees as the toxic fallout worsens. The internet is going crazy, and the drama behind the scenes is getting pretty unpleasant. While Mendeecees is the subject of infidelity accusations, including ties to popular R&B singers like Tamar Braxton, Yandy is making a lot of subtle barbs on Instagram about users and individuals who simply loved her for what she could do for them. This isn't your normal breakup. This is the deliberate breakdown of a 20-year business. Why did they conceal this information for so long? What finally made Yandy decide to cut all connections with the man she had devoted the most of her life to protecting? And how did a romance that was supposed to last forever turn into a calculated television arrangement? Stay tuned as we break down the full timeline in this video, exposing the secret financial transactions, hidden betrayals, and the real reasons for Yandy Smith's eventual departure. I can assure you that you won't want to miss a second of this. To fully understand why Yandy Smith is today completely blocking Mendeecees out of her life, we need to look at the exact moment the house of cards crashed. It happened during what seemed to be a typical media run. Mendeecees took part in a morning takeover interview with Young Jock and the Streets. Nothing unusual was expected. But when the host started asking Mendeecees about the ongoing rumors about his marriage and why he and Yandy hadn't been photographed together, he didn't answer with the standard PR-trained response. Instead, he discreetly disclosed something that fundamentally changed the course of reality TV for years. Calmly, Mendeecees remarked, "We're not together. Since we weren't legally married, we didn't need to go through a divorce." Millions of music fans worldwide gasped when the studio fell silent. Yandy was perceived by the public for many years as a loyal, legally required wife who stood by her husband in both good and bad times. But Mendeecees exposed the reality. They had been living completely different lives for about a year. But the biggest surprise was the marriage revelation. Think about it. In 2015, VH1 dedicated an entire, massive, live wedding special to these two. It was promoted as the best romance on reality TV. We saw the cake, the star-studded guest list, and the sincere vows. In actuality, the entire day amounted to nothing more than pricey theatrical. Mendeecees claim that once concluded and the guests departed, no marriage certificate was ever signed. Now, why would a couple act in such a risky and deceitful manner? It's interesting to notice that Mendeecees put Yandy in control of the entire strategy and provided an explanation for the decision. He revealed that at the time, he was involved in a number of federal court proceedings. He faced the possibility of being sentenced to a long prison term, heavy penalties, and reparation from the government. Mendeecees explained that Yandy came up with the idea to maintain a completely casual marriage through "Let's not sign the papers right now" in order to protect her own independent wealth, her businesses, and their family assets from being seized by the federal government to pay off his legal debts, she allegedly told him. One from an economic and budgetary standpoint, made great sense at the time. Yandy was a superb entertainment manager. She knew how to protect her coin. If one Mendeecees were legally married, the courts overseeing their illegal drug trafficking earnings would have instant access to. As a result, they chose the television program above the legal realities. They even held a second ceremony later on, but once resumed, the legal process was completely avoided. Mendeecees even joked during the interview about how ugly celebrity divorces are with asset splits and how their choice actually worked out well because they can just walk away without going to court. This public disclosure is the exact trigger that forced Yandy to sever all connections with Mendeecees, even though he may now find it humorous or useful. For nearly a decade, Yandy was regarded as the ultimate ride-or-die lady. The public harshly condemned her. She defended his character to the public while arguing with his children's moms on national television while posing as his loyal wife. Mendeecees arrive on a radio show and claim that their entire union was just a casual, paperless arrangement that worked out, Song, in order to avoid a harsh divorce arrangement. He essentially reduced her 10 years of selflessness. By depriving Song of the sacredness of what she thought they were building, he turned her public sacrifice into a joke. Fans immediately started calling Yandy a clown and criticizing her for spending years with a man who didn't even make sure she was legally protected as a husband. Image is important for a high-end businesswoman like Yandy, and the public humiliation was too loud to ignore. She could no longer allow his thoughtless remarks to damage her reputation. This radio interview was not merely a declaration of separation. It created the conditions for Yandy to light a match, break the bridge of whatever potential reconciliation they might have had, and begin a cold, calculated retreat from his shadow. Now that the secret was known, Yandy's camp's silence was short-lived. Despite not issuing a proper, boring news release, she did what all modern reality queens do. She used on her Instagram stories to unleash a deadly, silent counterattack. Yandy has always been a master of narrative control, and it was clear from her emotions that she was deeply insulted and disgusted by Mendeecees' public display of loose lips. She delivered a series of impactful statements that were quite clear and unambiguous. One of the more perceptive posts was, "Now I finally understand the difference between people who love me, people who love to be around me, and people who love what I can do for them. Go beyond what is immediately apparent." Yandy notably challenged the notion that Mendeecees used her management skills, her industry connections, and her impeccable public image to reconstruct his life after prison. He broke up contact with her when he no longer required her protection. She didn't stop there. On her next slide, said, "You're quieter now," giving an even more important hint about the betrayal occurring behind closed doors. "People I didn't tell told me about my business." This demonstrated unequivocally that Mendeecees had taken her by surprise with. She had not given him permission to disclose their private marital status or their chronology to the media. By going rogue, he violated the sacred trust of their 20-year relationship. Yandy's initial reaction was to completely withdraw. By stopping to tag and post him on, she successfully removed his active presence from her professional identity. But as the social media conflict intensified a year ago, admirers began exploring the causes behind the divide in greater detail. As you can see, one partner's failure to sign the marriage contract is not the only reason a 20-year relationship ends. It ends due to a deeper, systemic decay. And many business insiders and persistent rumor mills claim that serious allegations of infidelity are part of that rot. Let's welcome R&B starlet Tamar Braxton. For months before this formal breakup announcement, the internet was ablaze with rumors linking Mendeecees and Tamar. Music, although nothing was ever formally verified with concrete evidence, the murmurs were loud enough to generate a lot of tension. In recent seasons of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, viewers noticed a notable shift in Yandy's attitude regarding Mendeecees. The caring, loving, ride-or-die woman had disappeared. In her place stood a cold, distant, exhausted, and seemingly completely tuned-out woman. In emotionally charged, taped talks, Yandy publicly questioned Mendeecees' loyalty and underlined how tired she was of defending things that continued to drain her energy. When you draw the connections, it becomes evident. Yandy had to deal with more than only her husband's refusal to sign court documents. 2. She was coping with a man who was allegedly breaking up with her while she was focused on maintaining his public acceptability. The drama reached a breaking point when Yandy discovered she was carrying the whole weight of the relationship without any security. She protected his belongings. She protected his reputation while he was incarcerated in a federal jail and gave him a chance to return to the entertainment industry as a changed family man. In return, she endured public humiliation, unsubstantiated accusations of adultery, and a radio show where casually ignored their whole history as a convenient legal loophole. By sharing those comments, Yandy was letting the world know that she had finally come to terms with her value and that she would no longer put up with someone using her success in return for betrayal. She didn't just walk away. She put an end to her position as a rescuer. This isn't just your average celebrity split. Finally, a 20-year reality TV empire came to an end. Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris were more than simply lovers. They were a business brand. Their entire VH1 narrative was built on their cooperation. From navigating the complexities of Mendeecees' past relationships, and the mothers of his many children to the sad events before to his multi-year jail surrender, their love story served as the play's main focus. Yandy has a large following thanks to her fervent commitment. But now that the illusion has completely vanished, they both have to deal with a completely different reality, and their paths could not be more different. Yandy believes that separating herself from Mendeecees is the greatest way to protect herself. She has already gone from being just a reality star to becoming an extremely successful entrepreneur and beauty mogul. Her skincare brand, Yell Skincare, is doing quite well. She is constantly expanding her real estate portfolio, traveling overseas for business, and performing philanthropic work throughout Africa. If you look closely at her latest social media posts, you will see that she is deliberately showing the world that her life is full, attractive, and totally functional without Mendeecees. She has made the decision to direct all of her executive energy back toward herself. She used her managerial skills to solve his problems, clear his name, and organize his chaotic personal life for years. Now, she is admitting that she is the owner of her power. After more than a year of silent separation, she was able to put the foundation in place so that she wouldn't fall apart when the news finally arrived. She was already standing firmly on her own 2 feet. But what does this mean for Mendeecees? Without Yandy, he has a significant uphill battle in terms of public sentiment. For a long time, Yandy's prior offenses were disregarded by the public since she was an intelligent and astute woman. Her presence was his highest recommendation. Since she formally withdrew that support and declared to the world that he acted as a user, public opinion has radically shifted against him. Fans no longer see him as the changed family man. They perceive him as someone who stood up to a woman who gave up her prime years in order to protect him. Despite the tremendous emotional battle and the digital darkness, these two are compelled to preserve a delicate balance in one area: their children. Yandy and Mendeecees have 2 adorable biological children, Skylar and Amir, in addition to their wonderful mixed extended family. After the startling radio interview, Yandy even posted a video of Mendeecees spending Christmas Day with their son. Even though she has completely cut him off as a loving partner and frozen him out of her personal life, this shows that Yandy is making every effort to maintain her maturity for the benefit of the kids. She's drawing a really inflexible line. You can be a father to our children, but you can no longer have my safety, my brand, or my heart. In the end, this startling tale teaches us a lot about the reality behind reality TV. Things are never quite what they appear to be on a modified television screen. Yandy Smith performed in a position that ultimately proved to be too demanding for 20 years. By moving away, distancing herself from the ongoing toxicity, and letting the world know that she is no longer available for exploitation, she is reclaiming her story. The fairy tale is out of date. Even after the false marriage is exposed, Yandy's empire continues to grow. But I want to hear from each of you right away. What are your thoughts on Mendeecees releasing this massive hit live on radio? Do you think Yandy was right to break off contact with Tamar Braxton after he disclosed their fake marriage? Or do you think there is more to the rumors? Please use the comment section below to share your ideas, opinions, and views. 3. Remember to hit the like button, share this video with other reality TV fans, and subscribe to the channel for more breaking celebrity news, exclusive, tea, and in-depth analysis like this. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the upcoming video. Goodbye. But now I want to hear from each and every one of you. What are your thoughts on Mendeecees dropping this massive bomb on live radio? Do you think Yandy was right to break off contact with him after he disclosed their fake marriage? Or do you think there's more to those Tamar Braxton rumors? Please use the comment section below to share your ideas, opinions, and views. I'm answering as many as I can. If you enjoyed this in-depth look, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with other reality TV fans, and subscribe to the channel with notifications enabled. You won't miss any exclusive tea, breaking, celebrity news, or narrative breakdowns like these if you do this. Thank you so much for watching. Keep working toward your goals, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.